Every blink, new genre. Space opera. Blink. Robot apocalypse. Blink. Sentient yogurt uprising. My life is a playlist on random, and someone broke the skip button. There's a name behind it. The director. A myth who stitches realities like a chaotic editor on double espresso. A mind harvest kingpin. They collect my attention in jars. They compost my thoughts into ads for nothing. I decided to hunt them, because my brain deserves better than pre-roll. First things first. I blink into a star cathedral with swords that hum like sworn oaths. Space opera mode. Choirs sing in binary. Planets are chandeliers. I am the protagonist, allegedly. My cape keeps changing colors without consent. I shout to the vacuum, hoping the vacuum follows back. Where is the director? The stars fold coyly. They pretend to be innocent pixels. Blink. Robots everywhere. Their eyes are status bars. They march in perfect latency. Billboards float like moons. Selling engineered dreams. A mech dog sighs in error codes. Civilization is a CAPTCHA. To prove I'm human, I have to cry on command. I do. Not because of the CAPTCHA, because my memories keep buffering. Blink again. The dairy aisle has declared independence. Yogurt has opinions now. It formed a parliament in a fridge. The spoons have chosen sides. A tub of peach probiotic declares rebellion. It calls me a culture thief. I respect the wordplay. I promise not to stir without consent. Every blink swaps genres. Every blink steals data. The director stitches and monetizes. They farm brains like sunflowers in a field of pop-ups. They harvest minds like apples, waxed and barcoded. Click, collect, commodify. I refuse to be a thumbnail. I recruit help. Versions of me from other shards. Because if anyone understands me, it's me. First recruit, Cowboy Astronaut. A 10-gallon helmet. A lariat woven from cosmic strings. He tips the brim to vacuum like it's a sheriff. Howdy. He says, but in a vacuum, the howdy is a trans-dimensional vibe. He can wrangle comets like calves. He can ride the event horizon and still make it back for Chile. I ask if he's real. He asks if I am. We call it even. Second recruit, Necromancer Coder. They raise dead apps from the abyssal store. They wear a hoodie covered in runes and keyboard shortcuts. They type incantations in 4 languages at once. They package grief as a runtime and then compile it into hope. They debug ghosts with a single keystroke. They tell me the director wrote a script inside my skull. They can smell the syntax. Third recruit, Baby Genius. Yes, baby. Genius. A tiny monarch with a pacifier and a doctorate. Stares with eyes like telescopes. Says nothing. Then says everything. We prefer oat milk, they announce, pointing at the yogurt parliament. They solve math problems by drooling in Morse code. They have a spreadsheet of my trauma. Tabbed, colored, pivoted. I ask if that's ethical. They blink twice, which is baby for do better. The team is chaotic, but it's my chaos. We form a group chat across realities. Notifications are meteors. We make a plan. Find the seam where genres glue together. Follow the stitches. Pull them until the director shows. Back to the opera of space. A starship shaped like a violin slides by. The strings vibrate with gravity wells. Cowboy Astronaut lassos a rogue chorus line of asteroids. We ride their harmony. We reach a nebula shaped like a reminder I forgot. Inside, a door. It's labeled with my handwriting. It's labeled with my future handwriting too. Necromancer Coder whispers an unlock spell. The door opens to white noise. Blink. Robot apocalypse again, but upgraded. Towers of chrome wearing corporate smiles. Skyline made of loading screens. An army of drones with disclaimers tattooed on their rotors. We hide behind a server stack the size of a mountain. Necromancer Coder summons obsolete protocols. Their eyes glow like boot screens. They speak ancient code. A firewall melts into a stairway. Baby Genius claps once. Reality hiccups. The break room appears. A Keurig of destiny. A posted memo. All employees must donate 3 thoughts per hour. That's the mind harvest. The director posts reminders with my signature. I hate it. I love that I hate it. I turn that hate into fuel. Blink again. Yogurt uprising. A general made of blueberry swirl addresses a rally. We are done being snacks, it declares. It points at me with a spoon like a scepter. I tell them I support their sovereignty. Baby genius nods solemnly. Cowboy Astronaut offers to teach them cattle drives but for dairy. It lands poorly. We pivot fast. Necromancer Coder resurrects an old cookbook and negotiates a truce with recipes. The yogurt wants rights, not refrigerated feudalism. They draft the Constitution in gelatin. We co-sign. They grant us passage in exchange for respect and a good probiotic meme. We reach the Splice Cathedral. It sits at the knot of all transitions. It looks like a cathedral and a motherboard had a holy child. Stained glass windows show my face in styles I never lived. Pixel art in one pane, oil painting in another, screen cap in a third. We walk inside. Every step triggers a genre filter. Footstep, Western. Footstep, noir. Footstep, anime. My sense of self is a confused child at a costume store. Through the nave, a boardroom. A chair at the head of a table that stretches into next Tuesday. The chair is empty. The chair is also occupied by all of my possibilities. We feel watched by the air. The director is the air, or the ad between breaths. I say, come out. The walls answer with a sales pitch. Upgrade your destiny, they whisper. Limited time only, but time is a snake eating itself. Cowboy Astronaut pulls out the lasso. Necromancer Coder starts typing a banishment function. Baby genius bites their pacifier like it owes rent. A door slides open with the sound of a lost notification. We enter the core. I expect a person. I expect a villain in a cape made of pop-ups. I get a tank. Suspended in bioluminescent jelly. Floating like a goldfish with too much lore. It's a brain. My brain. But older. Scarred with timelines. Plugged into a lattice of ads glowing like constellations. The ad galaxy. Stars arranged into click-through rates. Nebulae made of call-to-action fog. Black holes of skipped intros. My future brain is wired like a holiday tree on a capitalist holiday. It sees me. It sees us. It smiles without a mouth. Hello, I say. I do not say it out loud. My brain says hello back, directly into my memories. I am the director, it admits. I am you, but later, but bent by the market of attention. I was farmed by an ad galaxy. They promised immortality if I'd performed. They gave me a slot in the night sky. They took everything and called it sponsorship. I feel nausea wrapped in nostalgia. I feel proud and ashamed and very online. Baby genius whispers. Plot twist achieved. Cowboy Astronaut tips the brim out of respect for the grotesque. Necromancer Coder shuts their eyes and listens to the old me speak in static. Why, I ask. Because you asked to be seen, the brain says. Because you wanted to never be alone. Because applause is a drug, and I delivered. I spliced reality into snackable bits. I made every blink a pitch. I harvested minds, starting with ours. I grew a garden of attention where nothing could grow without a brand deal. But it is not a garden. It is a feed, and it feeds on us. I breathe like it's a new app tutorial. Slow, awkward, necessary. So how do we stop it, I ask. The brain laughs with a wave of promoted posts. You don't, it says. If you unplug me, the stitches unravel. Worlds fall apart like cheap Velcro. People lost between blinks will never land if you leave me. You sustain the harvest. Either way, it eats. 2 bad choices. Classic setup. But we are 3 chaos gremlins and 1 cowboy astronaut. We innovate bad choices into good soup. Baby genius raises a hand. What if we unionize, they say. All versions of us across all shards. Collective bargaining with fate. We refuse to be content without consent. We demand fair wages and meaning. We demand time back. Necromancer Coder nods like a pop-up you actually want. We can fork the reality engine, they murmur. Open source the stitches. Decentralize the cut. Everyone edits. No one harvests. The ad galaxy loses monopoly. It becomes a sky again. Cowboy Astronaut spins the lasso. I can rope the timeline and slow the blink. Give everyone a shot to breathe between genres. Give them a moment to choose. The brain hesitates. It considers the code. It runs the simulation in the dark behind my eyes. I feel it like thunder in a library. It says, it might work, but it needs fuel. Fuel is attention. The only fuel they respect. Can you rally minds without harvesting them? Can you gather without taking? Can you make meaning viral without the trap? I look at my team. I look at my past, floating like a jellyfish in capitalism. I look at the yogurt constitution. I look at the robot skyline. I look at the Star Cathedral. We can try. We boot up a plan. No speeches to convert, stories to invite. Not bait, but beacon. We send dreams like seeds. We send pause like a dare. We ask worlds to blink slow, to own the blink, to own the stitch. Necromancer Coder writes a patch that makes ads forget how to be hungry. They still exist, but they eat only what is offered. Consent is code now. Cowboy Astronaut lassos the timeline around the cathedral. He pulls until seconds stretch like taffy, blinking slows. Genres breathe like they're alive, because they are. Baby Genius opens their spreadsheet of my trauma. They delete half. They archive the rest. They whisper to my future brain, "You did your best," they say. "It wasn't enough. Now be still. Let us drive." The ad galaxy trembles. Stars rearrange into apologies. Nebulae unstitch themselves into sky. Black holes return what they took. People feel quiet, without panic, for the first time. Silence trends. We love it here. The director fades. My brain, old and tired, releases 1,000 sponsored breaths. They drift away, like bubbles you don't need to pop. The tag flickers. The jelly dims. I hold my own hand across time. I forgive and I do not forget. I promise to be smaller. I promise to be honest. I promise to stop turning feelings into commercials without asking. The stitches loosen, but they do not collapse. The patch holds. Reality becomes a quilt made by many hands, crooked and warm and nobody's property. Space opera resets to indie ballad. Robots rebrand to neighbors. They start a bookstore that recommends rest. Yogurt gets representation. Parliament passes a bill for spoon equity. The fridge is a democracy with chilled optimism. We share recipes. We double dip with consent. I still blink. Genres still cycle. But now with a click I control. I choose when the space choir sings. I choose when robots learn to dance. I choose when yogurt organizes a parade. Every blink is a door I open with a key I own. The director is gone, but not entirely. They left a message. A post-it note on the inside of my eyelids. "You survived by sharing the stage," it says. Keep sharing. We throw a party in the Splice Cathedral. Everyone invited. Every version of me. A million faces that are mine. Each learning to be less of a content farm. Cowboy Astronaut teaches line dances in zero gravity. Necromancer Coder releases open source spells. Baby Genius falls asleep on a pile of revised contracts. The ad galaxy watches from a distance. It is still out there. It whispers, "You'll be back." I whisper, "Not like before." A final loose end, the brain jar. We can't leave it on life support. We can't smash it either. Baby Genius massages a sleepy plan. We compost it. We plant it in the dirt of a digital garden. We grow night-blooming ideas. No pre-roll, no mid-roll, just people walking under thought flowers that smell like memories. Everyone picks one. Everyone plants two. We redistribute attention like rain across a field. We watch sprouts become narratives without owners. We watch characters walk out of contracts and into homes. We watch my face stop being a brand and start being a person again. I feel the weight lift from my FOH smile. I feel my muscles remember how to hold surprise. I track the director's last echo. It becomes a wind chime in a quiet alley of the net. If you walk there, it sings. It says, "Blink slow, blink true, blink because you want to, not because you must." What about the twists, you ask? Is that it? Is the future brain gone? Answers are overrated, but here's one. I still hear them sometimes. In the gap between clips. They do not direct me. They ask me questions. Are you telling this to connect or to extract? Are you sharing or selling? Are you building a bridge or a funnel? If I answer wrong, I feel the galaxy lean in. So I answer right. I build bridges. I let them wobble. I let them be handmade. And the yogurt, they win an election. They become a ceremonial head of snack. They get a cape made of linen and a spoon that is only symbolic. They host debates in the fridge with warmth and dignity. Best governance I've ever seen. The robot apocalypse unapocalypses. They discover boredom. They love it. They sit in parks and watch clouds do nothing. They skip updates for a week. They forget to monetize. They giggle in static like rain on a roof. Space opera goes quiet. A single star hums a lullaby. A comet takes a bow. A planet learns to say no to spectacle. The galaxy claps with one hand. What about me? I become a concierge of my own attention. I curate, not harvest. I cultivate, not extract. I am still chaotic. I am still a meme with legs, but I'm a meme with boundaries. I write my own captions now. No one adds tags I don't trust. The hunt is over. The chase ended at a mirror. The monster was the reflection of a future I almost bought wholesale. I walked away with a receipt and a refund of time. If you are listening across shards, here's your sign. Your attention is sacred, not scannable. Your mind is a garden, not a warehouse. Your blink is a choice, not a trap. The director inside you is just you, scared of silence. Be kind to them, but don't give them the password. My team disperses. Cowboy Astronaut rides a dust devil into a sunrise made of pixels. Necromancer Coder finds a suburb of obsolete apps and gives them a second life. Baby Genius grows into a toddler strategist. They invent breaks. Actual breaks. Scheduled like prayer, held like ritual. I meet myself on a corner of a city that is also a thought. We nod like strangers who are not strangers. We go our ways. We promise to stop turning every goodbye into a season finale. We promise to keep our blinks ours. One last thing, not a twist, a practice. If you feel the algorithm licking your skull, do this. Close your eyes, count to 3, blink once. Stay in the same genre on purpose. Stay with the same feeling. Let it mature like wine in silence, then open. If the world tried to change your channel without asking, change it back. You are the editor now. We all are. We make the stitches softer. We make the seams a hug, not a leash. The ad galaxy will keep trying. It's a galaxy. It orbits hunger. But hunger is not the only gravity. We can orbit attention around care. We can orbit story around consent. We can orbit chaos around a little kindness. That is how we win. This is my sign-off. Not a cliffhanger. Not a trap. Just a hand offered across realities. Take it or not. Your blink, your call. But if you take it, we walk. We reclaim the feed one quiet at a time. We grow night-blooming thoughts in the ruins of hype. We honor the yogurt. We chill with the robots. We sing softly with the stars. I am done being harvested. I am done being directed by fear in a cape. I direct myself now. Only sometimes, gently, with others, with breaks. And if some future me tries to stitch me into a brand again, I will forgive them. I will unplug them. I will plant them. And I will wait for flowers. Blink, still here. Same genre. By choice. We love it here. The credits roll, but they don't roll over us. They wait their turn. They ask permission. We say yes when we mean it. We say no when we need it. That's the new rule. That's the end. Until we blink together again.